Coolpad recently launched a pretty interesting budget option called the Cool 5 a couple of months back, which boasts of a decently large battery, a USB Type-C port, and even dual rear cameras, all for the price of under 8,000 rupees. Now, this puts it in direct competition with phones like the Redmi 8. But should you really buy this one over Xiaomi's offering? It's time to find out in our review. Now, before we go ahead, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and also hit that bell icon so you're the first to be notified whenever we have a new video. Now, aesthetics are definitely subjective, but I think you'll agree with me here when I say the Cool 5 isn't what you'd call striking. It's built alright, but the glossy plastics makes it look a little cheap. Also, unlike what the marketing images on Coolpad's website suggest, the phone has visibly thick borders around the display, a prominent notch, and a fat chin at the bottom. It's quite chunky at 8.2mm in thickness, but not very heavy at just 145 grams. There's a dual hybrid SIM tray on the left which can accommodate 2 nano SIM cards or a single SIM and a micro SD card for expanding the storage. You also get a headphone jack on the top and a Type-C port at the bottom. Now, the capacitive fingerprint sensor at the back works well, but it is a little slow at waking the screen up after successfully authenticating you. The Cool 5 also has Face Unlock, which works decently well under good ambient lighting, but it isn't the quickest. The phone also has a 6.22-inch HD Plus display, and here colors aren't very vivid, but viewing angles are pretty decent. The Coolpad Cool 5 uses the MediaTek Helio P22 octa-core SoC, which is an entry-level chip seen in phones like the Realme C2. The Cool 5 is only sold in one version in India with 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. Navigating Android was a relatively smooth affair and multitasking was generally responsive. Due to the slightly weak SoC though, apps still took a little long to load and heavier games can struggle to deliver smooth frame rates. Even in PUBG Mobile Lite, gameplay wasn't the smoothest. Coolpad uses a custom version of Android 9.5 which hasn't changed much since we reviewed the Cool 3 Plus a few months back. The OS is using a now dated version of Android security patch which is still from July 2019. The single-layered UI has elements of stock Android along with some customization such as a Themes app and some gestures. The Cool 5 packs in a 4000 mAh battery which offers enough backup time to get you through one day but not much else. With medium to heavy use, which typically involved a bit of gaming, social and camera usage, we still had to charge the phone before we went to bed. Charging times weren't very quick either, as it generally took nearly 3 hours to fully charge the battery. The cameras on the Cool 5 include a 13-megapixel primary camera with a 2-megapixel depth sensor at the back and a 16-megapixel camera in the front. The camera app has a decent set of features which includes all the basic shooting modes including a Pro mode. The Face Cute mode lets you add AR stickers to your face when using the selfie camera or the person you are shooting. We also noticed the camera took a while to focus, and in low light it takes a few tries before it successfully locks onto your subject. Even under good light though, the main rear camera produces quite poor results. Details were weak, colors looked completely off and dynamic range was lacking. Close-up shots did fare slightly better, but we really had to be patient till the camera focused and the image was saved to get a good shot. Portrait mode lets you adjust the level of blur, but the image quality itself was very weak. In low light, details were even weaker. There's lots of visible noise, the focusing speed dipped greatly and images looked plain bad. Video recording topped out at 1080p, and even under good light, video quality was well below average. Continuous autofocus speeds were also quite slow. Selfies shot with the Cool 5 weren't very pleasing either. Even under daylight, skin tones were quite off, colors looked unnatural, and portrait mode was more of a miss than a hit. The Coolpad Cool 5 looked like a decent contender on paper, but in reality, it's actually quite disappointing. Around the same price, Redmi 8 or even the Realme 3i are better offerings. The Type-C port and the compact size probably are the phone's only redeeming points, but it falls short in pretty much every other area. Overall, we suggest giving the Cool 5 a miss in favor of phones such as Redmi 8 from Xiaomi and even the Realme 3i. So thanks for watching our review, and for all things tech, log on to gadgets360.com.